Everyone wants the results, the lifestyle, the wins. But what if I told you the biggest difference between those who make it and those who don't has nothing to do with luck, timing, talent, or even money, and everything to do with mindset? I'm not talking about positive thinking or believing in yourself. I'm talking about mental frameworks, the psychology of winners, the unseen thought patterns, emotional control, and decision-making mechanics that separate the top 1% from the 99% still trying to figure it out. You can copy someone's morning routine, their productivity app, their financial habits, but if you don't copy how they think, you'll never replicate what they build. The top 1%, the ones who rise, lead, and last, think in systems, not reactions. They don't respond emotionally to failure. They decode it. They don't chase every shiny opportunity. They filter ruthlessly. They don't attach their identity to their outcomes. They build resilient detachment. Most people, they're reactive, emotional, scattered, living in scarcity. Winners live on offense, and it starts with how they see the world. Here's the first shift. Winners assume responsibility for everything. Not blame, responsibility. When something breaks, they ask, how can I fix this? When something hurts, they ask, what's this teaching me? They don't wait for rescue. They don't complain about luck. They step up, take ownership, not because it's their fault, because it's their future. The second shift? Winners focus on what they can control. Everyone else wastes mental energy obsessing over the algorithm, the market, the competition, the government, the weather. Winners don't have time for that. They control their inputs, their energy, their effort, their message, their response. They master the controllables and let the rest fade into background noise. The third shift? They move with long-term thinking. Everyone else wants it now. Fast, viral, easy. But winners? They delay gratification. They sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's dominance. They don't just think in days. They think in decades. That's why they don't quit when the likes are low. That's why they keep going when no one claps. They're not playing for applause. They're playing for legacy. Fourth, they see failure as data, not identity. When most people fail, they make it personal. I'm not cut out for this. I suck. I'll never make it. Winners don't go there. They treat failure like a scientist. What did I test? What did I learn? How do I iterate? That's why they grow faster. They don't carry shame, they carry lessons. Fifth, winners speak differently. The language in their head is clean, direct, powerful. They don't say, I'll try. They say, I'll figure it out. They don't say, I hope it works. They say, it's already done. I'm just doing the reps to catch up. Their self-talk is aligned with their goals, and that language reprograms their reality. Sixth, they filter their time with precision. No distractions, no aimless scrolling, no yes to things that don't build. Their calendar is a battlefield. Every block of time is a weapon. Every meeting has a purpose. Every commitment passes a filter. Does this move the mission? That's why they get more done in 4 hours than most people do in 4 weeks. Seventh, they protect their mental environment. They don't let negativity rent space in their head. They curate their inputs like their life depends on it, because it does. Who they follow, what they read, who they allow in their circle. Energy vampires don't get access. Mediocrity doesn't get a voice. They don't just build businesses. They build fortresses around their focus. And finally, for now, they invest in feedback. Not flattery. They'd rather hear hard truth than soft lies. They ask questions. They hire coaches. They listen more than they talk. Because they know feedback doesn't threaten them, it sharpens them. That's how the 1% think. Not louder, just clearer. Not faster, just sharper. And none of this is genetic. It's trainable, repeatable, buildable. In part 2, I'll show you how to install this mindset in your real life. How to build daily mental habits that elevate your thinking, decisions, and results, so you don't just admire the winners, you become one. But for now, let this sink in. Success isn't something you achieve. It's something you install, and it starts in your mind. Now let's turn mindset into muscle. Because it's one thing to understand how the 1% think. It's another thing entirely to become that. Anyone can nod along, but few are willing to rebuild from the inside out. To change the way they think before they act. Because that's where winning starts, not with hustle, not with money, not with opportunity, but with mental architecture. So let's build yours. Step 1. Create a mental reset ritual. Every morning, before the world hijacks your brain, you take control. 2 minutes. That's all. You ask yourself, how would the next level version of me show up today? Then you answer, focused, disciplined, calm, courageous, whatever it is. You step into it. This isn't fake. This is alignment. Winners don't wait to feel ready. They choose a state and then move like it's already true. Step 2. Create your mental operating code. You need principles, not moods. Rules you follow no matter how you feel. Things like, I don't skip twice. I don't argue with reality. I don't respond to fear with retreat. I respond with strategy. Write your own code. Read it daily. Make it identity. Step 3. Use tactical reframing. When life punches you in the face, and it will, your default mindset will try to spiral. You train it otherwise. You get rejected? You say, not yet. Not here. Not them. You miss a goal? You say, that data was priceless. You fail publicly? You say, this is proof I'm in the arena while they're in the stands. Reframing isn't delusion, it's strategy. Step 4. Install the obsession filter. Winners don't try to do everything. They pick their thing and go deep. They say no to the noise so they can say yes to mastery. Ask yourself, what do I want to be unreasonably great at? Not average, not decent, elite. Then double down. Study, practice, track, refine. That focus? That's your leverage. Step 5. Measure mindset. Not just milestones. Don't just celebrate external wins. Track how you handled chaos. Track how quickly you recovered from failure. Track how many days you showed up even without applause. Those are the metrics that make you dangerous. Because while others are addicted to outcomes, you're building mental durability. Step 6. Create mental contrast. Write down 2 visions. Version A. If you keep operating how you've been, what does your life look like in 5 years? Version B. If you adopt the psychology of winners, where do you land? Now ask, which future can I live with? That pain of regret? That's motivation. That vision of freedom? That's direction. Step 7. Commit to micro-excellence. The 1% don't rise through hype. They rise through consistency. They do small things with precision. Daily, they sharpen their edge in the quiet. So make a commitment to execute 1 high-level behavior a day. 1 decision with courage. 1 hour of deep work. 1 refusal to shrink. Over time, those reps compound, and you become the kind of person others can't compete with, not because you're louder, but because you're locked in. Step 8. Create your mental reset button. When you spiral, and you will, you need a tool that gets you back on track fast. Maybe it's a mantra, a playlist, a cold shower, a walk with no phone. Something physical that grounds your brain in the now. Winners don't avoid spirals. They just recover faster. Build your recovery plan before you need it. Step 9. Build a circle that sharpens. You will not keep a high-performance psychology in a low-performance environment. If your circle mocks ambition, if they normalize complaining, if they reward comfort, you will shrink to fit it. Change the room. Join masterminds. Hire coaches. Start groups. Don't wait to become successful before you upgrade your circle. Upgrade now, and success will follow. Step 10. Finish days with conscious review. Every night, ask yourself, where did I think like a winner today? Where did I default back? What do I need to lock in tomorrow? This keeps you aware, and awareness leads to alignment. You don't drift into this mindset. You build into it, brick by brick, thought by thought, identity by identity. And here's the final truth. The 1% mindset is not reserved for the rich, the famous, or the elite. It's not gifted. It's cultivated. In silence. In struggle. In the quiet moments when no one sees you show up. But you do. That's when you shift. That's when you level up. That's when you become the person who doesn't just dream of a better life, but builds it. With clarity. With discipline. With psychological armor. So go. Start now. Pick 1 shift. Lock it in. Watch your reality rise to match the quality of your thinking. Because the difference between who you are and who you're meant to be, it's not more talent. It's not more luck. It's a different level of thought. And now, you know how to think like the 1%.